minding his own business, staying in his lane, when Margot Biriri came into the picture. Classes and worlds apart were their reality, but life proved that their worlds were not that far apart as they thought. If appearances are put aside, who knows what will be waiting on the other side? Serendipity, the occurrence and development of events by chance, in a happy or beneficial way. Boss lady, it's almost time to knock off. We have to close shop and be at the bus stop early in order to beat the end of day rush hour traffic. This was my personal assistant standing at the entrance of my office. Okay, Fadzai, I'm on it. In fact, let me finish the end of day sales reports. I shook my head with disappointment because my car was still at the service center. I wish they had given me a complimentary vehicle to use for the meantime, I said. Yeah, you know it will happen one day, Fadzai replied with a smile on her face, and that was positivity that I really needed at that time. If only the sales representative had not been stuck in Chirenje with the Toyota Vitz the next day, you could then have conveniently used that car, she tried to comfort me. I grimaced as a response. I had to make do with what I had for now, but that did not mean I was happy about it at all. As we walked to the bus stop, we sank into an engaging conversation, and before we knew it, we had arrived, and immediately a black Honda Fit stopped right in front of me. Dolapa town, hande ma sister. Dolapa town, hande ma boss. Tuchete, varukumanya. The driver shouted, trying to entice us to quickly get into his car. As soon as we got in, the car sped off, leaving behind other hordes of cars which were still scrambling for passengers who were going to the city center. We sat at the back, and then I immediately shoved on my earphones and started playing some local motivational audios. This had become my new norm and my new culture. Time was precious, and so inspiration was the fuel I needed to steer me through. In fact, I needed some homegrown inspiration from my own country to get me through the day. The speaker was Arthur Marara. Indeed, something else. His approach was raw and brutal. This particular message was titled, Kwana, Get a Grip on Yourself. He was throwing punches like Mayweather in the boxing ring. He said his assignment was to offend and push people to get into action and make progress in their lives. With a glance from the view mirror, I saw the driver suspiciously staring at me, or well, maybe it was directed to my assistant, Fadzai. I had to stop being so presumptuous. As soon as we got into town, Fadzai tapped my hand. Boss lady, the driver is talking to you. I removed my earphones and remained quiet. Sister, what's your name? I groaned in frustration, wondering what the hell was this Mshika driver trying to do. Please drop me off at the 4th Street bus terminus, I responded in annoyance. As soon as we got to 4th Street, I waved my goodbye to Fadzai. Please greet my kids at home for me. I will see you tomorrow same time, my future wife. The taxi driver said with a pitchy voice. I got out of the car in a rage. Of all the stupid people, I thought to myself, this one deserved to get the trophy. And I wondered if that had been intended to be a pickup line or an insult. After disembarking from the Honda Fit in a huff, I headed to the bus terminus. The hustle and bustle at this place was just out of this world, with vendors shouting on top of their voices, selling their different ways, and small shuttle taxis fighting for space amongst the combis. There were also some cars parked close to the road port, the main drop-off center for buses coming from South Africa, Zambia, and Malawi. I walked to the middle of the terminus where I boarded a combi, and as soon as it took off, the loud Zim dancehall music started playing at an almost maximum volume. I cringed. Must it be so loud after a long day at work when all you need is a bit of peace and quiet? I asked myself. Some 30 minutes later, I dropped off at the bus stop in the Grange. This was my home and my neighborhood. This is the reading for my book, Appearances or Not. I wrote this book with the view of trying to look at the different social classes that we have in Zimbabwe. And then I was just trying to ask the questions, must people dictate who you date, who you marry? Like I say, this is the Grange versus Glenora. So thank you for the opportunity.